Good morning, it's Margaret Fette and it's Facebook Live at the University of Sewing. Well, everybody, it has been a really tremendous last couple of weeks. If you don't know, and you might not care, and it might not be important to you, but it's been pretty important around here, we have decided to close our alteration and tailoring part of our business. And, you know, that's taken up a lot of my time. And now I'm hoping that what I can do is put more time into doing some great videos for you guys on different techniques. I'm hoping that what I can do is spend more time out on the floor helping customers with their sewing machine needs, and then maybe even some more classes. So this morning, I want to remind you about our wonderful trade-in sale. Oh, Dave, where did I put the giveaway? I'll bet it's over there. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. I do have a giveaway for you though. It's a nice giveaway. So what I wanted to show you this morning, did you know that you can trade in on a Q20 on a Pro frame or a Q24 on a Pro frame? Right here is a Q24. This is a Pro frame. This frame is 13 feet long. Now, I know some of you are going, oh my goodness, I don't have that much room, Margaret. But some of you are going, yes, I want the biggest and the best. Well, we got the biggest and the best, and you can come see it. And it's set up with Q-matic on it. So what's really cool is right now, I have a little bit of a design up here for you to see. I am working on Northcott's Charisma, the explosion of puppies. And I put some flowers on this because I thought that would be really pretty. So do you see that X right there? Can you see that? Wait a minute here, let's see, let's do this. That X right there is where the needle's at on my sewing machine. So what's really cool is that now that I'm getting ready, I have this design and there's a border on this. And what I thought I would do is take and put these flowers down the border here. I'll put the small flowers down this border. And that all sounds really crazy hard, but it's actually not. And I wanted you guys to see just a little bit of what you can do with this machine. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to stay over on this right-hand side. We're gonna move this over, look at that. I can just move it over to where I want. And I'm going to highlight that. Look how pretty that is. And I'm going to duplicate it because what I want is I want this design and I want it to go down that part of the quilt. So all I have to do, oops, you know, it's like everything else in the world. Sometimes you forget which one you want to do. So I am going to duplicate it by hitting one down. That's all I need. Now I'm gonna unlink those two. So now I can touch that one. Look at that, I can move that one all by itself now. Now I'm going to rotate it because I need it to be, well, look at that. See, I'm gonna show you some other fun things you can do. Oh, by the way, there is, what? See, I can change it to whatever angle I want. Okay, so we're going to hit the check mark. We're going to move this over. And now what I've got, see, now I want to bring this over. See how it has a green mark right there? That green mark means where it's going to start sewing. So I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to put it right there because that's what it looks like it should be. But I'm going to double check that. So I'm going to come over here. And I have my foot on, so I'm going to take it off so you guys can see it. And there is a red light that tells me where my needle will go in. And I want my border to hit between that checkered part and this checkered part. So I put one here. I'm going to go back over to my Q-matic and I'm going to put in a marker. And I want to just show you something here before I go to markers. What I can do is I can open this up. I hit the eye right here. And so I can hit the eye and I can hit markers. And then I know, so my little crosshairs are right there. So my first marker, I'm going to put, and I'm going to set it, and that's going to be my left-hand guide for my border. I'm going to put another marker over here on my right-hand side. I'm going to come down and put a couple more because I want to make sure that this stays within those. And wait, and I know this seems maybe a little confusing right now, but I just want you to see how cool this is. Okay, let's go back over to the schematic. So I'm going to move that out of the way so it stops. So let's go ahead, and what I just did is those marks right there. So now what I can do is I can go here and I can put this right on there. And if I feel like that's too wide, because it is a little bit wider, I can always change the size of this design right there. But I actually don't mind it going over top of the edges a little bit with the leaves and so forth. I think that makes it a little more interesting. And I also think it makes it a little less fussy, which I'm all about not making things too fussy. So I've done that. Now I'm gonna, so look at that. It's ready to go. Now, I can't sew it like this. Anybody who has a schematic right now knows I can't sew it because the sewing field I have is only right here in the red. So I will have to take this design and I'll have to unconnect it. See, look over here where it says unconnect. So if I hit that right now, now I can, there I've got a little group of it that I can do. And that is now the original design. And I will have to work with this a little bit more so I can just sew the little area I need to. But the other thing I can do is if you look at this sewing area, if I move my quilt down, I'll be able to sew that much. So I will move my quilt a little bit later and be able to sew that little section. But I've got it set up now and ready to go when I do move that. So I just want to show you the power of what you can do with Qmatic and your Q. They're pretty amazing. And this stuff with the borders and markers and things like that, we can teach you how to do it. So I know it's just a little demonstration on how powerful this is and how interesting this can be. So let's come on over here, and don't forget the Qs are part of the trade-in sale. So you can, Dave, why don't you go ahead and let's show them just really quickly. We have something as small as the foldable table. This particular machine is a floor model. It is only $6,000 and it is a great deal. Somebody needs to take her home. She's lovely, gives you lots of space to work in. But we've also got this wonderful Q16 Plus, and it is on a 10-foot frame. Now, you might say, well, 10 feet's still a little too big for me, Margaret. Well, you can get it on a 5-foot frame. So I just want you to know that those things are possible.
And how much do we charge for delivery?
We don't charge you anything. So we can deliver it to you within reason. That is true within about, how many miles, Dave?
Around 100.
Okay, so around 100 miles from Bloomington, put a pin in Bloomington and do a circle. 100 miles from here, you can get free setup and delivery of your Q. So, and if you trade in something right now on the Q, then you can get 25% off. So go and look at the prices online. It's really pretty amazing. Now the floor model price is the floor model price, but other than that, all the other brand new ones at full MSRP, you get 25% off of those. So we want to make sure that you're thinking about all the wonderful things you can get. And we have a lot of information today. I just got back from doing a talk at the Columbus Star Quilters Guild. And that guild, we talked about jackets and clothing and different classes we offer here at the University of Sewing. But remember, today's Bernina Day. And because it's Bernina Day, I have a lovely mouse pad with the 790 Pro on it. And I've got a couple little pieces of wonderful fabrics for you. This one is a fat quarter, and this is a group of quilting labels. So I've got y'all set. This is our giveaway today. So for those of you who may not be sure what to do to get entered in the drawing for the giveaway, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your Facebook page, hit the share button, and while you're watching this, you hit the share button, and then what happens is it feeds it, it puts it into your feed, and your friends and hopefully your sewing buddies will see that you are watching us, and maybe they'll start following us too. And so then more people get to know about us, and we're very grateful. And because we're very grateful, once you put in the comments that you shared, all you have to do is write the word shared. Once you do that, then your name gets entered into a drawing for one of our lovely giveaways. And we always try to do something nice for you in a giveaway. So make sure that you join us for Facebook Live so you can get entered in those drawings. All right, so wanted to give you some information about upcoming things. Number one, our Quilting 101 class. If you've got a buddy who maybe is a clothing sewer and they're thinking about becoming a quilter, and they want to know what the actual rules of the game are, this class is perfect for them. It is 8 weeks long. It's on Monday nights. It's from 6 until 8:15. It is at the University of Sewing, and it starts on the 11th, which is, I believe, next Monday. So that particular class is already filling up. There's only a couple of spots left. So if you've been thinking about it, or you have a friend who you think would really benefit from that class, I'm just going to tell you of a couple people who've been quilting for a long time, but they never took a formal class in it. And they thought it would be fun to know what the real rules are. So this is going to give you a really good basis for doing anything going forward. We also have we have to give a big shout out to the Country Register. They are so kind. They're such good people. And we are on the back of the Indiana Country Register for the month of September and October. How fun is that? So we have a full page ad on the back of the Country Register. When you come in here, you might realize that oftentimes in your bag, we put a Country Register for you. So we're in that. We are going to be doing a quilt show in October. The Columbus Star Evening, the Day and Evening Guild are combining to do their own show. And I'm going to just tell you, the ladies over in Columbus are darn talented. And so this is going to be a really nice show. So this is going on over the weekend of October 14th and 15th. It's a Saturday and Sunday. A lot of times these shows do not happen on Sunday. I think it's wonderful that they're doing this, because people who work on Saturdays don't get to go to these shows a lot of times. So this will be really nice. This is going to be over at the Foundation for Hope. It's at 405 Hope Avenue in Columbus. We'll have this poster up at the shop. I'm going to take a picture of it and put it on our sales and event page so that you know that that's going on. I would highly recommend that you make some time for that, because those ladies are really, really talented. Okay, another thing I don't want to forget about letting you know that's coming up actually much sooner is our Run Rudolph Shop Hop. So the cool thing about the Shop Hop is, one, you get this darling Rudolph pin. It is a charm that you can add to a charm bracelet, or you can put it on a necklace chain, or whatever else, maybe put it on your keychain. It's super cute. You're going to get that when you buy a Shop Hop passport. This is going to happen over September 28th, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? No, it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday is what it's going to be. So those 3 days. It's from 9 to 6 daily. We will be here. There's 8 shops participating. There's going to be a $200 and a $300 Visa gift card given away for those who complete the entire Shop Hop. There is also going to be, for each shop, we are going to be giving away a gift certificate, and I believe it's $50 for each shop. So that wasn't put on there, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So each shop is going to have their own unique Christmas project that you can buy. I'm going to just tell you, ours is the fastest project and best little Christmas present you could want. And where each one of them are individual. We have got 50 of them right now for sale. We're going to also try to put together a few other items for you for kind of ideas for quick, wonderful Christmas kits put together that you can either give away or you can have something that you can put together really quickly for Christmas present. All right, the 25% trade-in sale. Now, I'm just going to tell you that this is incredible. It includes this $475 cape. We've only got a couple more left in the shop. It comes with this gorgeous case, and you can purchase this cape and get 25% off with a trade-in. Now, you're going to say to me, Margaret, what if it's not a Bernina? Can I trade it in? Of course you can. I don't care what brand you bring in. I don't really care what, I had somebody ask me, well, it's really old. Don't worry about it. Bring it in. Let's trade it in for you. I'll get rid of it for you. It is not any big deal. So we can trade that in for you and we can move that machine along. There's always some new sewer that needs a good deal on a sewing machine, so we can pass it along to them. Or if it's not really a very appropriate machine for that, maybe we can use it for parts, or maybe we can just retire it. It'll be fine, I promise you. Sometimes it's hard for us to do that with our own items. Believe me, I understand that with this rearranging of our shop. I've had to make some really hard decisions about things I own, and I get it. So think about that machine that you've been sitting on and you're like, well, but it still runs. Well, why don't you trade it in and get the machine you want? Maybe it's this $475, the perfect travel machine. Or maybe, Dave, we've got to bring them around here because maybe they don't know this. But what if you wanted to trade something in and get a 790 Pro? Well, the 790 Pro is included in the trade-in sale. Our long arms are included, our sergers are included, and our wonderful 790 Pro, brand new machine. You can get this for 25% off with a trade-in. Bring in that old machine of yours, let's trade it in, let's get it going. You are gonna have a wonderful machine. You do not need to worry about it. We can get this for you. Now, I am gonna tell you that if you buy one of these right now, I am going to have to order it, so you'll have to wait a little bit. So you'll have to keep your machine for a bit, but it won't be that long. I'm hearing right now that the machines that we order now are probably going to come in November and December. I thought it was going to be even later than that. So those people like Joyce who bought one of our wonderful 790 Pros, she might get it sooner than we were hoping. So we are looking forward to making sure anybody who wants to see this machine, they get an opportunity. I'd love to demonstrate it for you. If you come in and you get demonstrate, you can get one of these wonderful Joy of Pro pins. It's so cute. Just remind me, because sometimes I forget. I get so excited about showing you all the features of the machine that I forget to tell you you're going to get one of these pins, and we're going to run out of them. We've had quite a few demos. So remember that this machine actually threads itself. It has a laser light, and its embroidery features are going to knock your socks off. It's really quite wonderful.
So if I already own a 770 or a 790, would I really like this?
Well, like I said, now you have self-threading. You are going to have, you'll have self-threading. You're going to have the laser light. The laser light part of this is just making placement so much easier. I gotta show you guys what I made. Hold on a second. Let me show you what I made. So I've been working on coats. You guys know I've been working on coats. We've got a coat class coming up. Well, look at this. I made these beautiful pockets for one of my coats. So check that out. Look at these gorgeous pockets. And I was able to make sure these ended up exactly where I wanted on my pockets because I had the 790 Pro to be able to help me. It's a gorgeous embroidery design. This is one of the designs in the 790 Pro. Really, really pretty. And I did this all by myself. Now, I did ask Alice what way to put stabilizers on it because I didn't know for sure. But I was able to do this all by myself, and I was really, really pleased with it. And I can't wait to put these on my jacket. And when I get it on my jacket, I promise I'll show it to you guys. So, in October, the Fridays in October, we're having a coat class. And that was one of the things I was telling our folks in Columbus about. One of the reasons I think most people quit sewing is because the garments didn't fit them anymore. When you're 20 years old and you haven't had a kid and you're 5'6" and you're nice and slender and you've not had any life in you to speak of, your body's perfect. Well, sure, all the patterns fit us then. That's really nice. Well, what about now? Well, remember, we do a fitting workshop and we do it about every 5 to 6 weeks, and you can sign up for that. And what can happen then is we can go ahead and you bring a mock-up in, you find whatever pattern you want to use, you make a mock-up of it, you only need the basic pieces. So for example, if it was a coat, you wouldn't have to put the collar on unless you just wanted to. So you could just do the front, the back, and the sleeves, sew up the side seams, and we're ready to go, and we can do a fitting for you. If you're doing something like a pair of pants, you're going to want to put the waistband on because that's obviously a big deal. But the whole point of all of this is that you bring in 1 or 2, 3 mock-ups and a couple of tops, maybe a knit top and a woven top, maybe a pair of pants or a coat. You can bring those to the fitting workshop. We fit them for you. We change the pattern for you. The only thing we ask you to do is please make sure that the garment is bigger than you, because it is extremely difficult to figure out what the fitting problems are if it's too small. So if you make the mock-up and it's definitely too small, and you're going to be at home making the mock-up, so you'll know this, go back and make it bigger so that we can go up a size, so we can make sure that we can actually fit it around you. Because once it fits around you, I can figure it out. But if it's too small, it's really difficult to actually pinpoint the places where it is not fitting properly. So that's our fitting workshop. We're doing the coat class. One of the parts of the coat class, the first day, I am recommending that you do not buy the fabric for this until after the first day. And the reason why is, what if you want the coat to be longer? What if it's way too big? What if it's too small? What if all these different things can happen? We're gonna make a mock-up of the jacket and we're gonna have you try it on, and then we can decide, do the sleeves need to be longer? Do the jacket need to be longer? One of the things that I found with the step ahead jacket that I am doing for this class, I felt like it was too short. Now, I'm only 5'2". I don't like jackets that hit me in the middle of my hips. That's what this did. The jacket is super cute, but it just needed to be longer. I ended up extending the length 5 inches. And when I did that, that meant I needed an extra ½ a yard of fabric. So if I would have bought my fabric ahead of time, I wouldn't have had enough. So we're just saying, I know it's really hard, but wait a little bit. The typical jacket on this, or the typical yardage, excuse me, even on the largest size for this jacket class, is 2 2/3 if you make it the exact length that the designer intended. I ended up buying almost 3½ yards so that I could get the length I wanted. So that's why I suggest you don't actually purchase it. Now, if you've already got 4 yards of coating wool in your stash, bring it along. I'm sure you'll have plenty. But that was the reasoning I had. I didn't want you to buy fabric ahead of time because I don't want you to end up with short yardage. Because sometimes after you've bought the yardage, you can't go back and get more, which would be just devastating in something like a coating wool. So that class is coming up. The fitting workshop, will be doing another one, I am sure, in the month of October. We've also got private lessons. And what people don't realize is that, say you are in Terre Haute, say you're in Indianapolis, say you're in Columbus, and you have 2 or 3 friends and you guys like to get together for a sewing class, we can do that. We can set that up for you. You can call us up and say, Margaret, I have 4 girlfriends and I who want to learn how to do machine applique. And I'm going to be like, okay, let's find a date that works for you guys and have you all come down and we'll do a class specifically on what you want to learn. That can be for clothing, it can be for quilting, and we can take care of that for you. It can even be in general sewing techniques. I had a grandmother have her teenage granddaughters want to learn how to use their serger. So we set up a class that was just the 3 of them. And we did work on sergers so that they could learn how to use their sergers because they like to make clothes with their grandma. So those are all possibilities. And even if you're, say, in California, or you're in Colorado, or you're in New York, and you know that you have to make a trip to the Midwest, or maybe you want to make a trip to the Midwest, why don't you come on and we will take care of that for you. So we've got to get ready to get open. I
Margaret,
just
you
see
gotta throw this in there.
I see a customer needing to come in. I am worried about her because she's using a cane.
All right.
So we might have to get off here quicker than I intended. I don't want her to have to stand out there and not be able to come in if she needs to. So I am, whatever you wanted to tell them, if you want to go ahead and let them know, Dave, I'm sorry.
The only thing I had was that you were talking about classes, and so many times people forget when they buy a new machine, what do they get?
Classes. You get classes, and you get us, and you get service.
Because we want to make sure you can use the machine.
Don't buy a sewing machine without having somebody to show you how to use it. Today's new technologies are just enough complicated that you will be sad if you don't do that. So you will want to have some classes on them, even with the most simplest ones. So I hope that you have a wonderful day today. And we will see you tomorrow morning for Facebook Live. We have so much more to talk to you about. So we will see you then. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to share.